So I am quarantined. Not like before I said, I'm quarantined because New York is quarantined. No, no. I'm quarantined. I have been quarantined. Me, personally, has been told, stay home. You're not allowed to leave. So I get a call yesterday from my infection control nurse at my job. I've still been going to work. I'm considered essential, so I've been required to work. Um, Yesterday, I get a call from the nurse, and she says that my name has been given as someone who has been, I guess, exposed to someone who tested positive for COVID-19. So as a result, I've been put out of work. Um, they told me I am not allowed to go back until April 17th, which I guess is 2 weeks from the date of the exposure. She didn't say who or where or what, just someone I was in contact with has it. So I'm like, okay, that's not a big deal. I actually could use the break, to be honest. So no biggie. But she says I need to contact my local Department of Health and try to get tested. Now, she did warn me that if I'm asymptomatic, they may not test me because, they have limited tests, despite what Trump says. They have limited tests, so they have to kind of prioritize who they can test and who they're not gonna. So people who seem to be suffering or severely ill, they're gonna test them before they're gonna test someone who seems to be okay. Because A, I may not have it, or B, if I do have it, I have a mild case, so I'll probably be okay. But she told me to call them anyway, and if that doesn't work, try to call my doctor. Cool. So this happened yesterday afternoon. The health department closes at 3:30, so it was kind of too late. So I get up this morning bright and early to call the health department. I call. It just rings, and then it disconnects. Okay, so I call a different one because there are several of them in my city, in my county. I just called the one that's closest to me. So then I call another one, and there's an automated message that comes on, and then you hear some clicks, and then some like hold type of music, and then it disconnects. Okay, so then I call back to the first one, same thing. And then I call back to the second one, same thing. So I'm sitting here and I'm like, okay, maybe it's too early because I got up. The first thing I did when I woke up. Maybe it's too early. Let me give them a minute. So I chill. I'm sitting here. All right, no big deal. I call back. Can't get anyone. Call the other one. Can't get anyone. This goes on and on and on. I call a third location. It forwards you to 311. They then transfer you to someone else and you get disconnected. You just continuously get hung up on, essentially. And I'm sitting there, and it's not that big of a deal for me because either A, I don't really have it, or B, if I do, it's not that serious because I feel fine. So, okay, fine. But what about the people who really have it? Like, they can't even get anybody to get tested. And it was frustrating to me for them because I'm like, what if I was really dying? Like, that's it. So then I decided I'll call my doctor instead. Let me just try this. I'll call my doctor. So I call him, I get his like secretary or receptionist, and she says he's not seeing patients right now. Okay, so what should I do? Well, you can do a video call with him. We can schedule you in on Monday. Today's Thursday. And I'm like, a video call? What? What am I gonna do with a video call? Like, how does that help me? I'm not really sure how. I need to be tested. That's what I'm trying to do. So I don't know what a video call is gonna do. But I'm like, are you kidding me? So I'm sitting here and I was like, all right, you know what? I'm going to go buy a thermometer just to see if I have a fever, something. Because other than that, I feel fine. I'm not coughing. My chest doesn't hurt. None of the symptoms. So I go try to buy a thermometer. No thermometers. I went to 5 different stores. No thermometers anywhere. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Okay, so I come back home. No biggie. I'll order it on Amazon or online somewhere. Fine. So I get online, go to Amazon, my trusty Amazon, and I find a thermometer, try to check out, and apparently they have a message saying, something about certain areas. Like, I guess they're kind of skeptical about delivering to New York. And I get that. We're kind of shaky right now. But then they say, scheduled delivery date, May 30th. May 30th? Today is April 9th. What am I? I'd have been dead by then. Like, are you kidding me? There was a day, but this is, I was feeling warm. One night, a couple nights ago, this is before I knew that I had been exposed. Apparently I was exposed last Friday. I was feeling hot, like really hot. Like, oh my God, I'm really hot. But I didn't think much of it. But now I'm like, that could have been it. Like, am I dying here? Like, what is happening? But this is just how I am. I get something. And if I do have a fever, I probably don't. But that's not the point. I'll never know. You can't just walk into the doctor's office. You can't just walk into the health department. So if I were really dying, I would just die. Like, and I'm not mad at like the health department or the doctors or the nurses or anything like that, because I know they're extremely overwhelmed and this is not their fault. It's the system and the government and the way they work, and it's just BS. When you go into the hospital, and I haven't had to, but I've had coworkers who've had to, they won't even test you. They won't test you, and it's just like, this is so unfortunate. Like, this is just a really sad situation that I don't think it had to be like this. And I just wanted to share, really. This wasn't supposed to be a long rant about whatever. I was just sharing that I've been quarantined, but it turned into that. So sorry. Okay. Rant over. If I manage to get tested, or if I find out that I'm positive, or if I develop symptoms, I will come keep you updated. If you don't hear anything from me, then I'm probably fine. Thanks for listening.